S&P 500 just had one of its worst first halves of the year. Let's talk about it. Hello everybody, Joe Warbeck coming at you. And 2022 is going down the record book so far as one of the worst on record for the S&P 500. As you can see, in the first 6 months, it went into bear territory and it stayed there. It was below 20% losses. That is terrible for any year, let alone just half of the year. However, let's talk about why that happened. We had two major issues unfolding in 2022. Number one, we had the war in Ukraine. Russia invaded Ukraine. Nobody liked it. We weren't sure where it was going to go. We weren't sure how it was going to affect world economies. And number two, we are seeing massive inflation around the world. United States just racked up a 9.1% inflation rate year over year. And to fight that, Fed Chairman Powell is aggressively raising interest rates. We had a 0.5% or a 50 basis point raise first. He just had a 75 basis point or a 0.75% raise. And he's discussing and talking about having another raise July 26th and 27th at their next meeting. And the markets at first didn't like this, but now it seems like they're getting used to it and they know this has to happen in order to stave off future inflation increases. So the last time Powell raised rates at 0.75, since Powell raised rates, the Dow's up 4%, the S&P's up 5%, the Nasdaq's up nearly 6%. Since the beginning of the third quarter, we're seeing similar returns. The Dow's up 2%, Nasdaq's up nearly 6%. This is good news, and I think a big telling feature will be, what do the markets do next week when Powell raises rates at least 75 basis points? Some people are thinking he may raise it 100 basis points. I don't think that's going to happen. I think he sees that 0.75 is the right rate increase. So we want to see this. We want to take a look at this. And this could be a telling factor, because if we look at all the times that the S&P has had negative returns for the first half of the year, we find zero correlation of negative returns moving forward. Basically, what this chart tells us is that we have no idea what's going to happen in the next 6 months. There have been many times where markets were negative and they came back, and there have been times where markets were negative and it continued to go negative. So at this point, it's anybody's guess as to what is going to happen for the next 2 quarters of 2022. We still aren't even sure if we're in a recession. Just because it appears that we have 2 negative GDP quarters, they could vote and say that it actually isn't a recession because unemployment's still at 3.6% and economic activity is growing. We've seen record profits across the board. In 2021, we saw for the first time ever the S&P 500 companies exceed 11% profit, 12% profit. And the guess is this year that could hit 13% and continue to rise in the years ahead. So we have inflation and these companies are raising prices even higher. And it looks like they're going to continue to raise prices so their profits stay high. So the good news is the S&P 500 is out of bear territory. The Nasdaq has come down off of its lows. The Dow is performing better. Things are looking up for the second half of the year, but make sure you check back here every week so you can hear the real news about what's going on in the economy, what you should be doing with your money, how you should save for retirement. Check out some of my other videos. Make sure you subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you're told every time I post. And as always, I'll see you next time.